Hello everyone, I'm Plangulier. Welcome back to the channel for those of you who are subscribed, and welcome to any new people who might see this video. First, I'd like to say if you enjoyed the video, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And let's go ahead and get into the video. So welcome to my review of Total War Shogun 2. This is a stark contrast to my review of Total War Troy Saga. Because I actually enjoy this game a lot. It's probably my favorite Total War game ever released. So I'm going to be discussing why this game is so amazing. So first, let's just welcome you to the main menu if you've never played before. So in Total War Shogun 2, you have your standard game modes, which single player. So you have your campaigns, you have tutorials, you have historical battles, you have custom battles, and you can look at your battle replays. Also, you have something that's super unique only to this game, which is the Avatar Conquest. And of course you have multiplayer campaign. So the Avatar Conquest is what we'll talk about next, and it's just one of the reasons why this game is so amazing, and I don't understand why Creative Assembly haven't added this into any of their other games. But yeah, I don't know, because I think many people agree that it's one of the greatest game modes that they've ever released for multiplayer. So let's get into that. So as you can see, when I go into the Avatar Conquest, I can choose from either my Shogun 2 avatar, or I can choose my Fall of the Samurai avatar. My Fall of the Samurai guy doesn't have anything unique to him, because I don't typically play Fall of the Samurai online. I prefer to play standard Shogun 2 with its units, which is really no rifleman. I think you can get matchlock units, but that's about it as far as riflemen go. So then I click up here and I can switch. So this is what my Shogun 2 avatar looks like. As you can see, you can edit the mon, and there's a ton of different designs you can make in colors and stuff. It's really cool. You have a skill tree just like in the campaign, so as you win battles and your general gains experience, you can upgrade them. You can modify your retainers, also just like in campaign. And you can put on different armor sets, which you earn by doing battles. Okay, you can also name your guy, and as you see, they take on the colors that you want. And these units in the back, I think, are veteran units that I have that have been in battles with me and survived. And they become veteran. When they become veteran, they cost more to bring into the next battle, but they are stronger stats-wise. So let's take a look at some different things that this game mode offers. So you can manage your armies and your fleets. So as you can see my army here, so this is my standard army that I'm going to bring into battle if we have small funds. And it will automatically populate for me, so I don't have to worry about, you know, the timer counting down and me not being ready to go. And this allows you to go ahead and put your veteran units in and stuff if you want and have them ready. Obviously you can manage your fleets as well. I don't really do naval battles. This game's naval battles are fun, but I don't know. I don't think any Total War has really done justice to naval battles, so I just kind of avoid them personally. You can look at your avatar profile, so you can see all the achievements you've done. You can see what level your avatar is, all that good stuff. You can see like your ladder placements and stuff. You can go to a clan page if you have a clan. There's leaderboards. This guy is insane. 13,727 wins and 1,500 losses. That's some crazy numbers right there. So, but anyway, so the big feature of this is you can go to the Conquest map. So in the Conquest map, I mean, just looking at it, you can probably see how unique this is. So in the Conquest map, there's a few things you can do. You can do the standard thing, which is in every other Total War multiplayer, where you can go to your battle list, and you can see the battles that people have up, and you can just try and join them. Now, the other thing you can do is you see how these different territories have different symbols over them. So, for instance, if I take this territory, it will reveal the deployment of all enemy units not hidden. This is a retainer, so if I take this territory, I'll earn this retainer. And so that's the gist of that. But the way that you take territory is you take your icon here, your figure, and you move it to the territory you want to take. And when you do that, you just click on Match Made Battle, and you can choose land, sea, siege, one-on-one, try and look for a team, or you can try and drop in on somebody's campaign. And here you have the option to allow mixed avatars. This means that you can fight against people with Fall of the Samurai DLC. So a lot of those guys will be bringing gun units, line infantry and stuff of that sort, which I don't really mind fighting against them, so I always just leave that checked on, because bows and cav do work against line infantry. They do really well. So if you know how to use them, and you could do really well. So I've had to recreate this avatar profile because I lost my old one, so I don't have too many battles under my belt as far as this new one goes. But yeah, it's still just as fun as I remember. So you can also choose to set up a team if you want. But just this map, so you have to slowly take all of Japan in order to unlock the different units. So that's another thing. You unlock units. Let's see, right here. So if I were to attack this and win, then I would have the ability to bring katana cavalry and great guard units into my army if I want to. I can't bring those right now, so I have to take this territory in order to do that. So it just gives you a real reason to actually play the multiplayer, and it makes it interesting and it makes it rewarding, which no other Total War game really does, because there's really no reason to play multiplayer in the other Total War games unless you just unless you just enjoy it or you're trying to do tournaments and stuff. But this allows even the casual gamer to get into multiplayer, and it's incredibly fun. I don't know why they haven't added this in any other Total War games. Even Three Kingdoms, it would have been perfect. They could have just done the same thing that they did here. But yeah, I don't know why they would drop something like this, because it's amazing. But anyway, next let's hop into the meat and potatoes of this game, which are the campaign and not campaign, the campaigns and the battles. Welcome to the Shogun 2 standard campaign overlay here. This is the beginning before you go into any campaign. So here you can choose which clan you want to play as. It gives you a lot of information, so you can see what your clan is good at. It also gives you a little brief history about what your clan is about, and it tells you if your starting level, your initial challenge is easy, normal, or hard. And as you can see, there's a pretty good variety of clans to choose from, even in the base game. My favorite being the Takeda, because they're the horse lords, so their cavalry is really good. So each different clan offers unique things, and so a lot of different variety for each campaign. Some other things to look at on this are the game modes. So you have a short campaign, a long campaign, and domination. This just determines how many turns you have to take the objectives, and it also determines how many objectives you have to take. So for the short campaign, you have the least amount with the least amount of time. Long campaign, you have a little bit more and a little bit more time. And of course, with the domination, you have the most amount of time, but you have to take, I think, all of Japan. I've never done a full domination victory. And aside from all that, you have your game difficulty. I like to play on hard, but you can just play on easy, or or normal. Make it real easy, make it a smooth campaign, no real struggles, honestly. Other than that, there's not much to look at on this page, so let's go ahead and get into the campaign map. So now some of you may be wondering why I haven't covered the Rise of the Samurai or Fall of the Samurai campaign, initial campaign looks, and to see which clans you can play as and what the map overlook looks like and that kind of stuff. Reason being is because this video is only intended for the base game of Shogun 2. That's what this review is geared towards. I do plan to release more reviews covering the Rise of the Samurai and Fall of the Samurai DLCs. So just bear that in mind. No hate in the comments. So, alright, let's continue to the campaign map. Now, welcome to the campaign map for Shogun 2 base game. So this is the start for the Oda clan. And I just want to go over what this campaign has to offer. As you can see, it's already looking pretty unique just from the art style here. So first and foremost, you have your main buildings, which are your castle towns. Your castle towns hold a lot of stuff, so this is where you will build your military buildings. And this is where you can recruit from. Obviously, you can upgrade your stronghold, or your base town, I should say, into different tiers of castle, which make it harder to take. You also do, like I said, you do recruitment from here. And you can obviously recruit an army. Or a general to lead an army, I should say. So, one very unique thing about the Shogun 2, which I've only seen in Thrones of Britannia as well, is that you have these outlying buildings. And these buildings boost your economy. They do all kinds of stuff. So, for instance, I have a port here, which allows extra growth. And obviously I can upgrade it and get different naval units and the like. I have rice paddies here, which are going to give me food. So some other things you can see on here is I have an army. Now there's two different ways to do recruitment in this game. So you can recruit from your army, or you can also recruit from your town. If you recruit from your town, your units will spawn at the town and you can walk them to your army. This could be useful, for instance, if there's an enemy army close by and you don't want to risk recruiting with your main army, because if they attack you, then that's going to get interrupted. So you can just recruit from your town and then send them to the main army. Say you get attacked, you retreat back, and the next turn you get those reinforcements, as opposed to that getting cancelled out. So pretty unique there as well. So let's take a look at the surrounding map here. As you can see, it's very unique in the art style. Just another reason why I absolutely love this game. This is so incredibly unique. It's so much cooler than a basic Fog of War. And the map blends really easy and blends really well. So this is what I can see, and it blends into the environment that I can't see. But you can tell what's in each province and where they start and begin, or where the borders are, I should say. And you can tell what's inside of them, what they're called, that kind of stuff. So here you can see there's probably rice paddies, some kind of mine, and a castle town. Just this map alone makes this game so unique. It's incredible, and it's huge. It actually feels huge, even though Japan's really not that big. It's kind of like how they broke it down in Thrones of Britannia as well, and how they break it down in grand campaigns in Rome 2 and the such, or not grand campaigns, but specific campaigns like Caesar and Gaul, where it makes a small map feel huge, and I really like that. Okay, so now let's take a look at what our resources are. So we have coin. So this is how much coin we have in our treasury. We have our income, and we have food. Only 3 things you need to worry about. It's not very difficult. And of course, you also have to worry about your province happiness. But as far as resources go, this is all you have to worry about. So not as much to worry about as, say, Total War Saga Troy. So let's take a look at clan management. Here you can see what religion your people are. You can see, of course, who you're allies with, who you're enemies with, who your trade partners with. This in itself is very unique in the way that it shows your general. It's just it's very pretty. This game just overall is very pretty and very vibrant compared to the other Total Wars, where they're more gritty and they have a darker palette. So some things to look at are your family and council, and you can look at your records. All very simple stuff. So now let's take a look at diplomacy. Diplomacy works the same way as all the other Total War games. Let's click on this guy. He's very friendly. So you click on who you want to go to, you click enter negotiations, and here you have all your options on the side.
I will order tea, and we will have agreement before sunset.
And as you see, you get a little bit of dialogue with it, and you get another cool looking little visual up in the top here. Let's take a look at Mastery of the Arts. So this is your research tree. So you have two different paths. One is Bushido, which is going to be your warrior path, your army path, and one is the way of Chi or Kai, however you want to say that. And that is going to be improvements to your people and improvements to your buildings and that kind of stuff, and unlocking new buildings. And lastly, let's take a look at finance. Finance is really cool and really simple in this game. You can look at your projected income, and you can look at how much you're sending out, and it just automatically tells you, calculates everything for you down here. It even tells you where your lowest public order is at, so easy peasy. You can look at how much you're getting from trade, and you can look at a summary of everything. So that's a basic campaign map, and I love it. I love this campaign map more than any other Total War. The only one that was competing with this, in my opinion, is Thrones of Britannia, just because it also included these outlying buildings, which, by the way, these buildings can be siege, like they can be lit on fire and stuff, and that can hurt your province. And if an army comes in here and does that, you're going to have to chase them out, and you're going to have to repair your building. So if they attack, say, my rice paddies, then my food might go negative, and then my population is going to start hating me, and all kinds of other issues, right? Not to mention that I'll lose income. But but besides Thrones of Britannia, the other really cool one for me was when they came out with the Warhammer games, just because it was so unique and fantasy and a lot to look at there. But Shogun 2 has my favorite map, followed by Thrones of Britannia, and then I would say Warhammer. And I'm just kind of grouping those together because they're all pretty similar. So Warhammer 1 and 2. So one thing I did forget to mention is up here at the top we have our event messages, we have objectives. So these are all the provinces that we have to take, and we can see our active missions. We can see the clans that we know of, we can see if they're friendly or hostile. We can see the armies that we have. We can see any navies that we have using this, or fleets I should say. And we can see our provinces here. And then this tab would be our agents, if we had any agents at this time. So first let's look at the Metsuke. He can apprehend agents from other factions, bribe enemy armies, oversee towns boosting the income, and oversee armies reducing likelihood of a general being bribed. Then we have the Geisha, who exclusively focuses on assassination, and has a very high chance of success at killing agents and generals. Then we have the Monk, who increases happiness in Buddhist towns, makes enemy agents retire, passively converts regions to his religion, reduces enemy morale for a season, and can incite revolts and inspire armies. Then we have the Ninja, who can assassinate agents and generals, sabotage buildings and structures, sabotage armies, and can establish criminal networks in friendly territory. And lastly, we have the Missionary, who can inspire castle towns, make enemy agents retire, convert populace to Christianity, demoralize armies, and incite revolts and inspire armies. Alright, and now let's look at what is probably everyone's favorite concept about all the Total War games, which is the battles. First, I'd like to just talk about how beautiful the landscape is. They did a lot of work putting in the backgrounds. As you can see, the mountains in the background and the clouds rolling by. Everything's nice and lush and bright and vibrant and green. And then let's talk about the UI. It's really cool. It's probably my favorite UI that I've seen in any Total War game. It's very user-friendly. You can clearly see all your units. You can clearly see what their abilities are. It's just extremely easy to read and very user-friendly, which is what a UI is supposed to be. Now, one problem with the Total War Shogun 2 is that the AI is a bit passive, and by a bit passive I mean really passive. So one good thing that they're doing is that the AI will move up and try to take this hill. I think it reads that that's a priority position. However, a lot of times if you're playing campaign and that sort, they will just simply sit back if you're the one attacking, and you have to bring your force all the way up to them. It just takes a long time. But other than that, that's really the only issues I have with the AI is just how incredibly passive that it can be. Here you can see that the AI is still just sitting up on the hill. However, I did manage to draw out one unit of bow cav that they have. And one thing I really want to talk about here, and you'll notice if you watch my Total War Troy video, is just listen to the arrows. Just seeing the arrows and listening to them, you can tell that they have weight to them. You can tell that they're actually impacting. You can see as they land, and they don't have trails behind them like in the newer Total War games. It's very more realistic. It's more on the realistic side, and I love that about Shogun Total War 2. I know some of you in the comments asked for a comparison, so there's a comparison. So now this battle has progressed a bit. And I'm finally engaging the AI. I just charged uphill at him. But what I really want to talk about is you can see how the enemy units are breaking. Even some of my units are breaking. I think Shogun 2, the battles are more fast-paced, but I actually enjoy it this way, and I think it puts more of an emphasis on tactics as opposed to the newer games, such as Rome 2. I mean, Rome 2 is not new, but I think that's one of the games that everyone is very familiar with. But yeah, it puts more emphasis on tactics. And in this game, you cannot lose your general. If you lose your general, the chances of you winning just sink because he's very important. Whereas in the newer games, you can lose your general and still fight the battle. You can still go on. Your troops' morale doesn't decay too bad. You still have a chance at winning. But in this game, if you don't keep your general alive, it will ruin your army. And as you can see, my general here almost got depleted. So that's a key thing. And I mean, that also goes into tactics, which if you take out an enemy general, then that's going to give you such a great chance at winning the battle. So you got to be really careful. And I mean, you do have to use your general to fight most of the time. But you do have to be careful where you send him in at, because he will die quickly. And in this game, he will have the potential to be the first one to get killed. So just like in, say, Napoleon Total War, where your general can get sniped. You know, your unit doesn't have to be depleted to a certain point before your general will get knocked out. So overall, I absolutely love this game. It is 100% my favorite Total War game ever made. The battles are amazing, the campaigns are amazing, and they each offer unique play styles and unique challenges, because each faction has its own challenges and its own things that it's good at. So the colors are super vibrant. The UI is super easy to use, and I just love everything about this game. I don't have one gripe. Not to mention that you have Avatar Conquest, which you have in no other Total War game, which makes it incredibly fun, and which makes multiplayer incredibly fun, and just boosts the game up that much higher in my regards. And so lastly, I'd like to say thank you to all my subscribers, and thank you to everyone who will be hitting that subscribe button. Please leave a comment below and let me know what you think of the video. I know this is a lot longer than my last Total War video covering Troy, but I wanted to make it longer to cover more details about the game. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. And I will have more content coming out soon. And guys, that concludes my review of Total War Shogun 2.